Hello and welcome to a dual game video concerning two games of the Commodore 64, which each by themselves do not justify a video necessarily, but I still think requires or deserves even a certain amount of coverage. First up, we have a look at Bandits from Sirius Software. And the concept of this game is that apparently aliens are taking a certain liking to food. And of course, we can't have them making our food. So you have been plonked into not a spaceship because it's actually not flying anywhere, and have to shoot down the aliens trying to steal the food. Your craft can move from side to side alongside the bottom, and then you have a shooty thing, which is very good at making sure the aliens disappear rather explosively. And then you have access to a shield, which can be used to protect yourself from getting shot back in return, which I suppose is a very nice thing to have. The aliens will be sent out by a mothership, and then they will attack you in waves, and if they get anywhere near the bottom right side of the screen, they will pick up a piece of food. And if you shoot aliens before they return to the mothership, you will save the piece of food, and you can likely imagine that it's not very good to lose all the food you are trying to protect. Graphically, I think calling this game remotely epic looking would probably be a slight exaggeration, but I do have a certain weakness for the graphical style of the infancy of home computer gaming. Maybe it's just me because I played the early arcades when I was quite a bit younger than I am now, but I do have a certain weakness for the simplistic but effective graphical style. Some people are probably going to look at it and just scoff at it, but I have no issues with the graphics at all. The sound is basic. It is a game from 1983, and people had not yet discovered the potential of the Commodore 64's SID chip, and as such, a lot of games from this time contains rather simplistic sounds, but again, it is appropriate for the game and it fits the game, it suits the game, and I have no issues with it being a touch even on the simple side. The gameplay is an interesting take on Galaga. Galaga, of course, is a game type in which you have waves of aliens charging down towards you, and then you have to shoot them. And once you have cleared a screen of aliens, you will move on to the next screen. The fact that these aliens are trying to steal food from you makes it a bit more interesting and adds a tiny extra layer of difficulty. But what makes this particular not Galaga game more interesting than Galaga itself is the fact that you have quite a few additions from the different levels. As you may have noticed on the video, there's quite a few changes in how the waves are behaving, and you get extra large craft coming in that you can shoot and break up into smaller bits and shoot those smaller bits for extra points. And I know the gameplay longevity is not exactly going to be incredibly long, but sometimes, you know, just grabbing one of these older, relatively simple games and have a bit of a blast for 20 minutes, half an hour. I'm perfectly okay with that, and as such, this game serves that purpose perfectly well. So, it's time to move on to a bit of a classic. Donkey Kong. The game that was released by Ocean and of course is a licensed product of Nintendo Arcade Original. The plot in Donkey Kong is that Donkey Kong is being a naughty little monkey, except for the fact that he's rather a big monkey. And he has stolen the beautiful damsel, maiden, whatever, hasn't got a name in this game. So that came much later. And he's taking her to a construction site and running up to the highest point, keeping her there for I don't know what. All her yelling about be rather agitating after a while, I suppose. But whatever. In comes the carpenter, Mario. Please notice that either there's a question of translation, or he actually did have a different profession in his earlier days. What do I know? Maybe he got sick of woodworking and started doing toilet work instead. I don't know, but whatever. Please, the carpenter, Mario, has been tasked with going out and rescue the young, beautiful maiden so they can live happily ever after. And Donkey Kong can be quite annoyed by the whole situation of him working so hard to steal the maiden just to see her being rescued by some random carpenter. The game, of course, is a bit of a classic, and it was one of the very early arcade games that gained a tremendous amount of popularity. The gameplay loop is basic. You basically have to go, yeah, it was right first time. You have to go from the bottom of the screen to the top of the screen, navigating various different ladders and jumping over barrels or picking up one of the hammers so you can smash the barrels. The thing is, when you pick up a hammer, it is a time bonus that you cannot put down again. So you are basically stuck on the platform you're currently on when you are wielding the big hammer. And as such, you have to wait it out, which can be a bit, I wouldn't say daunting, but a bit frustrating, because of course Donkey Kong will continuously throw new barrels down the ramps in order to try and catch you off guard and then smack you about. I can imagine getting shown or getting a barrel thrown in your face is not exactly the most enjoyable experience in the world, so yeah. We reach the maiden and then we realize that Donkey Kong is not playing along, so he's moving further up. So we have to see if we can get hold of her again, because of course next time we catch her, she must surely be rescued. Spoiler, she won't be. From a graphical point of view, this is another game where the graphics are incredibly simplistic, but at the same time also incredibly functional. I do like the graphical style. It is very, very true to the arcade original's graphical style, and compared to other games released around this time, it probably wouldn't match up graphically, but it never will intended to, I think. The sound side of things, again, we are talking simplistic sounds, because of course, I mean, it is a licensed product of arcade original from 1981. So you can only do so many changes before it detracts from being a conversion. But I have to admit, specifically the sound effects I find incredibly enjoyable. They are over the top and they are probably annoying for certain people, but I can't help but find a certain enjoyment out of listening to those wonky, interesting sounds. Another game where the gameplay's longevity is probably not going to be lasting a huge amount of time, but it is a classic and it is very enjoyable to play, and yeah, you can't really ask for much more from a game. And on that note, I will allow myself to say thanks for watching, take care, and see you next time. Bye bye for now.